Greetings, folks. Crosstrain here from World of Tanks today, and I bring you today a game that is not overly spectacular, but I bring it to you because this is the end of the German TD line, the first TD line that came out that ends in this JagdPz E100, this Tier 10 beauty of a tank destroyer in the German line. I know it's got lots of weaknesses. I've been told by a lot of people it's got plenty of weaknesses, but I'll tell you, I was excited to get in this tank, A, because the grind to this tank was incredibly pleasant, and B, because I love the idea of having a tank that can hit for 1,000+ hit points per shot if you penetrate. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started because this tank is nothing fast in getting where it's going, so I'll have plenty of time to kind of talk about this as we go. So this is my third game in this tank. Split my first two. I got a win in the first, lost the second. Nothing terribly spectacular in either one. And so this is game number 3. And we're on El Haluf, as you can see. And I am heading up to the normal, typical A1, B1, B2, A2 corner up there to do a dance with the heavies and perhaps some TDs. And my plan, right from the get-go, is to get into the C1 square. One of the primary weak areas of this tank is the lower plate, so my idea is to hide that lower plate, which is what I plan to do around the edge of this hill. The other one is this commander's hatch on the top, as you see there. So there's not much I can do to hide that, so I'm just going to hope for the best with it and see what we can make happen here. My hope was that we'd get some poking by the enemy around the rock there in A1, and maybe I could do a little bit of work. So while we wait, it takes me a bit to get into the game, just mostly because for once, and I don't always do this, I stayed patient during the course of this. So I'm going to set up right around this corner, kind of watch what goes on. As you can see, I'm doing my best to hide my lower plate from over where they're looking at me. You can see that there's not a whole lot of my tank showing, and I'm hiding that lower plate, not so much the commander's hatch, but regardless, that was my plan, sitting here looking at that corner. As you can see, I'm aimed in on that corner. I don't know why that 215B did not have a fire extinguisher, but he was burning down pretty hard. This 4502, I'm going to give him some kudos, because he does a really nice job on this corner for a long time. I can't see his name. Let's see, let me look up in the list, the tank list. There he is, Slamdog00 from Demi. Really does a nice job holding this corner, doing a nice job hold on against this, or using the wreck of that 215B to hide his plate, although that tank is nearly impenetrable except for in its commander's hatch from the front. So, as you can see in the chat there, our T-34 was none too happy about getting wasted by Artie. So I'm, again, not always patient. Watch what happens to this poor waffle. He's going to come around the corner. I try to get a shot into him. Boom! But the 215B183 sitting next to me absolutely lays waste to him. 1,094 hit points, just takes him and makes a wreck of him. So, again, I fired a shot there. I got a 21.68 second reload. Looks like maybe I'm going to get a shot in this IS-7, so, and sure enough, he's coming. First shot, boom, 1,014. I got to tell you, I love that. I don't have another tank. I've got an E3, I've got an E4, but I don't have a single tank. I mean, other than Nardi, that can do that. 1,014 hit points in a single hit into an IS-7. Granted, he gave me his side, but still, that I got to admit, that's pretty darn satisfying. So far this game is 4-4, pretty much a stalemate. There's not a whole lot of us left around up here. XVM was giving us a 58% chance, still looking at 62% chance now. Here comes the IS-4. It looks like I'm going to get another shot. 11-19, and I set him on fire. Now he did have a fire extinguisher and put that thing out after losing another 200, 300, 400. As you can see now, okay, so what's going on now is that they had Walker Bulldog and this 183 came around this corner, got into the back of our 4502, and he put him down. So I obviously see this. I can see that right now this 183 and myself are the only two of our guys left on this side, other than, of course, this 183 that's, or the 1390 that's playing around down here. So things have just gotten a little hairy. I've got 4 tanks in front of us. Of course, the IS-4, IS-7 are very low on health, and their RD is still up. So I'm this whole time very mindful that I do not want to put myself in a position to get wasted by RD, because this thing is slow. If nothing else, it is slow. So so let's see. So I come around the corner trying to get a shot at him, but I didn't. Ooh, but there's other 183. Watch this. 1109 in the initial shot. And this guy loses almost another 900 hit points. I destroyed him in a single shot. All 2,000. You'll see in the post-game results. I did, in fact, get all 2,000 hit points of his damage right there. That's crazy, A, that he wouldn't have a fire extinguisher. That's a good player right there. He didn't have a fire extinguisher, and that this thing hit for 1,100 and then burned out the last 900. So that's, again, oh, I have to admit, that's kind of satisfying and perhaps even slightly stimulating. So their already is now dead. So I can be a little bit freer about playing this corner. That IS-7 was coming, then he backed off, and then for some inexplicable reason he comes again, and I take his last 66 hit points. But not much to him there. Anyways, things have turned a little bit to our advantage. I've got 4,600 plus damage at this point. I'm waiting for this 183 to come around the corner. Let's just see. I'm also mindful that that our back is wide open here. I got nobody to spot in case people do come up there, unless these guys can spot over here. So, although there's only 2 guys left, they're both over in this corner. You can see now it's 13-7. There comes the IS-4 behind me, so I decided what I was going to do was advance around this corner. And you can see I got taken. He hit me really pretty light. I got off, well, he was using HE. I don't know if that's standard or if that's his gold round in that tank. I don't have the 183, so I don't know what the rounds are. But while I was coming around the corner, our 183 did handle the IS-4 behind me. So the enemy in front of me is the last tank. He's not full health, but he's still got 1,000, just over 1,000 hit points. He used HE on me, and again, so I don't know if that's his regular. And I was able to hit my fire extinguisher. I did not have a manual fire extinguisher, but I was able to hit my fire extinguisher after just 1 tick with 81 hit points coming off. So that only cost me cost me 711 hit points, even with the fire. But I burned my extinguisher now. I burned my repair kit. All I have left is my first aid kit. But I know I've got a second before this guy reloads, so let's finish this out. So I get my gun to bear, just got a bit of his turret, and hit him for 944, and of course leave him on 96 or something like that hit points. At this point, I'm going to take my chances with him. With 1,500 hit points left, I'm going to go after him, but really no need to, as our Leopard PTA down in the valley takes care of his final, whatever that was, 60, 50, 70, whatever it was, hit points. So we won the battle. Again, this is my third battle in this. I had 3 or 4 extraordinarily satisfying hits there. Ended up with 5,500 damage. Played it cautiously, which again, I don't always do, because sometimes I get a little too aggressive for my own good. But I did play that one cautiously. Wanted to keep that lower plate hidden, which I was able to do. The only damage I took is when I came around the hill sideways, and I knew I was going to take a shot there. I was just hoping it wasn't too terribly big. And then finished off this 183 with a little help from my friends. So let's take a real quick look at the post-game stats. Again, this game was not particularly, I mean, it was a second-class badge, is all it was, but it was satisfying, because, man, it was my first better than decent game in this tank. Of course, I got the high caliber. You can see on this 183, is it this guy? Let me see. Yeah, this guy right here. You can see I did 2,000 hit points of damage on this tank right here. Most of it was the initial hit, and then the burn points too. So I only, so again, it was quite satisfying. You can see if I sort this by damage, I did 5,543 damage. I was out XP'd by this Walker Bulldog, so a really nice job to Tough Tracks here in his Walker Bulldog, and as other Walker Bulldog did a nice job as well. But it's second in XP, but most in damage on either team. That 183 that I took care of at the end, that the Leopard finished off, also had a nice game at 3,300 damage. So 5,543 damage, and that was with just 6 shots fired, 5 direct hits, and all 5 penned. And all, I mean, that's 1,100 average, and that's with a 66 roll on that IS-7 to finish him off. I did take the one hit, which penned, so I didn't bounce anything. But then again, I only had the one shot, and it was into my side, so I expected for that to happen. A little bit of assist damage there as well. So as you can see, 1,366 XP with premium, 910 was the gross, 66,754 credits earned for a profit of 45,982. In a tier 10 tank, I will take that any day of the week. So, as I said, it wasn't a particularly I wanted to jump up and down about, but I wanted to bring it to you because it's my first, only my third battle in it. My first one, it was really gave me that satisfying 1,000 hit point hits. So I look forward to playing this tank some more, and certainly enjoy those. I know I'll have my ups and downs in them, but if you haven't worked this line and you're thinking about it, I tell you, from the tier 6 on up, I loved this line of tanks. It is, I have almost every nation's TD lines, many of them up to tier 10 already. That includes both American lines, both Russian lines, the French line, and now I have this first of the German lines up to tier 10. And all in all, probably the most pleasant grind from tier 6 on. The Jagdpanzer, the Jagdpanther, yeah, I don't even remember what all the tanks are now, but the 6 and the 7. JagdPanther was the 7, I guess. And then I went JagdPanther 2. And then, of course, the JagdTiger, which is a beautiful tank. And then this tank just kind of puts the cherry on top of the cake, because what a pleasant grind, and then what a great joy when you get here to the top. So, hope you enjoyed that take on my third game in this tank, and I look forward to playing it some more, and who knows, maybe even bringing another video or two down the line. So, love it. And until next time, this is Cross Train from World of Tanks, and I hope to see you on the battlefield. Peace.